Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
3 respiratory illnesses are on the rise across the country. How the surge makes this flu season worse than previous years. The holiday season has officially begun. Some state line kids got to experience the Christmas magic a little early this year. And a local holiday tradition continues. All of the activities taking place in downtown Rockton this weekend. Good evening, I'm Taylor Castro. Thanks for joining us tonight. 8 DeKalb residents are without a place to live after a fire at their apartment building. Firefighters were called to the building in the 500 block of North 6th Street just before 3 p.m. Saturday. They found heavy smoke in a second-story apartment. That unit and the one below were determined to be uninhabitable. Nobody was injured. The 8 people who are displaced are being assisted by the Red Cross. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Respiratory illnesses are on the rise nationwide, including here in Illinois. It's shaping up to be the nation's toughest flu season since 2018. The CDC reports 44 states had high or very high levels of respiratory illness last week. New COVID cases remain consistent at 300,000 per day. But in addition to the rising flu, RSV is surging. Public health officials encourage vaccination. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services announced it will not renew MPOX, the virus formerly known as monkeypox, as a public health emergency after January 31st, 2023. The decision comes after a significant drop in cases. The disease peaked in August with more than 7,500 cases and has fallen steadily ever since. Health officials credit the drop to behavioral changes in the LGBTQ community. They say they'll continue to monitor the situation and encourage people to get the free vaccine. Despite infection rates approaching record highs, China is slightly easing some of its COVID-19 restrictions. Authorities say negative COVID tests will no longer be required to use public transportation. Many testing facilities have shut down in Beijing. But most public venues still require a negative result within 48 hours to enter, including shopping malls. The new policy changes follow last weekend's unprecedented protests across the country against the strict zero COVID policy. The unrest in China has Apple moving up plans to shift some of its production to other Asian countries. Violent protests by as many as 300,000 workers over wages and COVID restrictions helped spur the move. It comes after decades of efforts by China and Apple to create a relationship that was mutually beneficial. Apple officials say India and Vietnam are 2 primary considerations for the relocation. The federal government has averted a potentially catastrophic rail strike. Yesterday, President Joe Biden signed a bill that imposes a deal on rail lines and unions. Biden, who is pro-union, said the move was necessary to prevent the country from falling into a recession. The deal gives workers a 24% raise over 5 years, more scheduling flexibility, and 1 additional personal day. But it does not include the sick pay that workers were fighting for. Biden said the strike could have caused more than 750,000 people to lose their jobs because of supply chain disruptions. There are only 22 days until Christmas, and today the Chicago Rockford International Airport and United States Marine Toys for Tots Foundation hosted a special holiday celebration for local families. Our reporter Nicole Delgado was there.
It's not Christmas yet, but for many, Christmas came early as local children and their families gathered at the Chicago Rockford International Airport. Local parent Jessica Bajic says this is a great opportunity for kids to have a little joy.
It feels good. I'm very thankful for having the opportunity to come here, and they were super excited to see Santa come off the airplane, and they've been waiting. I've been telling about it for a week now.
I feel good, and it was snowing. I like snowing. Even I like Christmas trees and everything.
Kicking off the holiday season, RFD partnered with the United States Marine Toys for Tots Foundation, delivering hope, joy, and the spirit of Christmas. Children and their families came together to sing Christmas carols. Kids got to see Frosty, and to make it extra special, Comfort First installation made it snow.
That's the best part of being here is to see the smiling faces and hear the kids scream with joy when they see the snow and when they see Santa, of course.
Santa, Mrs. Claus, and their elves came to visit kids by airplane to deliver gifts.
Are you excited to open your gift?
See what's inside.
Marine Corps veteran Rick Egberg says the Marine Corps League serves the Tots in the Boone, Stevenson, and Winnebago counties, telling me this is a Marine Corps tradition and he will never miss a time to give back to the kids.
I've been with the Marine Corps League for 10, 15 years, and this is the highlight of the year. This is it right here, Toys for Tots. Most important thing, hands down.
Jessica tells me it's amazing to see that so many people want to help other families have a Christmas to remember. She hopes to do the same.
Community is there to help families that are in need and be able to make sure their kids have a great Christmas.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Nikel Delgado.
It's officially the holiday season. The annual Rockton Christmas Walk is taking place this weekend in downtown Rockton. All weekend long, there's shopping, lights, and lots of Christmas festivities. It's the 38th year that this tradition has been held. Today, the fun included writing letters to Santa, singing from a barbershop quartet, horse-drawn carriage rides, s'mores, and more. Maybe one of the most anticipated events of Christmas Walk weekend is the lighted parade down Main Street. The parade started near the American Legion Hall, went east along Main Street, and ended at Hononegah High School. More winter festivities are on deck for tomorrow, including the Hot Cocoa Crawl and the Historic Homes for the Holidays tour. With the holidays approaching, there comes advice from the U.S. Post Office. The earlier you ship your gifts, the more likely they'll arrive on time. The deadline for sending cards or packages by ground or first-class mail is December 17th. After that, you can still get gifts delivered on time by using Priority or Priority Express service, but it will cost you. The deadline for FedEx Ground Economy is even earlier, December 8th. The UPS deadlines vary based on where you live and where you are sending gifts. Survivors of the Uvalde school shooting in Texas filed a class action lawsuit seeking $27 billion. It names the city of Uvalde, the school district, and several law enforcement agencies. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed during the Robb Elementary School shooting back in May. 17 others were wounded. The lawsuit filed this week says officials failed to follow active shooter protocol when they waited for more than an hour to confront the attacker inside a 4th grade classroom. Survivors say they sustained emotional and psychological damages as a result. Senate candidates in Georgia get one last weekend of campaigning ahead of Tuesday's runoff election. Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock is looking for his first full term in the Senate. His challenger is Republican candidate Herschel Walker. Republicans effectively swept the statewide races in November, winning governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. The latest polls have Walker trailing Warnock by about 3 percentage points. But the Georgia voters who headed to the polls set a single-day record for early voter turnout. More than 350,000 voters cast ballots on Friday. That shatters the previous record of about 233,000 that was set in 2018. Voting analysts say early turnout has been higher in Democratic-leaning areas. Roughly 1.5 million people have voted early so far. Lava erupting from Hawaii's Mauna Loa volcano is headed toward a major highway. The road is used to connect 2 sides of the island. If the lava ends up blocking traffic there, it could cause commute times to increase by several hours. Right now, the lava is about 2.5 miles away from the road. It could reach the highway next week, but lava flows are unpredictable. It's still possible it could stop by then or change directions.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It's a much colder night tonight than what we had last night, and especially considering we have high pressure in the area and that cold front has already passed. Yesterday we were looking at this map and that cold front was still situated off to the northwest. Now that it's passed, a high pressure sits across parts of Missouri. That's helping to keep our skies clear, and that fresh burst of cold air that we had from last night now working into the area. So temperatures widespread around the area are in the 20s and even in the teens. We look locally, some areas still in the teens right now, down to 16 degrees here in Rockford. Wind chill at 16 because winds are calm enough, but we look a little bit further out to the east, or out to the west. Galena 13 degrees, Sterling 11, Rochelle 12. So it is quite cold across the entire area, and that's where we see a lot of those wind chills still playing a factor out there as well, and much colder than we were 24 hours ago, especially since that cold front was still well ahead of us. If we got out to 24 hours ago, compare that to right now, 30 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. Our weather watcher Terry also reporting a temperature of 15 degrees and a wind chill of 8 right around Genoa. Thank you, Terry, for that report. That was right around 9:30 earlier this evening. And we still see those clear skies out there. SkyTrack camera out there. Downtown Rockford is sponsored by Window World up on the Supply Corps building. Those clear skies also showing up here on satellite and radar. That's what's helping to keep our temperatures a little bit lower, but westerly winds or southwesterly winds coming from that high pressure to our south will actually keep our temperatures a little bit more moderated than they otherwise could be if we were dealing with a more northwest wind. So clear skies overnight tonight keep our temperatures relatively low, not too much further from where we are now, but notice that sunshine tomorrow helps our temperatures to rebound back into the upper 30s, and we hold on to those clear skies all the way through tomorrow and into the following evening before clouds eventually increase into the day on Monday. Notice there are some snow showers off to our northwest. Those will stay to the northwest, but we do have a chance we could see an isolated sprinkle, maybe a snow flurry or two across the area here on Monday, and then once again on Tuesday as we hold on to a lot more of those cloudier conditions going forward. So recapping all this here right now, temperatures tonight still down to 16 degrees, mostly clear skies, another pretty cold night with wind chills down in the single digits for a lot of us, especially with those winds, even though they're out of the southwest, definitely making it feel a little bit colder. Southwest winds tomorrow and lots of sunshine help us to warm back up into the 30s. 39 degrees, quite a bit warmer. We still get a lot of the sunshine similar to what we had today. So going forward, temperatures not too much fluctuating from what we would normally see this time of year. 39 for Sunday, 42 for Monday is the warmest day of the week. Normal for this time of year is right around the upper 30s, but it's gradually decreasing as we get later on here into the week going forward from that. The pattern beyond this is we're actually looking a lot cooler because this high pressure is going to help keep that polar vortex a little bit further up to the north. That's why those temperatures aren't fluctuating too much as we trend into the rest of the next week. 42 for Monday, again, slight chance for rain showers and snow Monday and then again on Tuesday. 37 for the middle of the week, and that system is one we'll have to keep an eye on as we trend into the end of next week.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
It's still early in the high school basketball season, but there aren't many undefeated teams left. Rockford Christian is one of them. The Royal Lions ran their record to 8-0 today. They hosted Galena in a non-conference game. Christian Cummings beats his man off the dribble with a spin move here, and he scores for the Royal Lions. End of the first half, Cummings beats the buzzer now with a three-pointer. Great stuff there from him. Second half now, Elijah Doherty in the lane sinks a jumper. He scored 21 points. And Doherty again scores on the drive. Then on the fast break, Cummings gets two more of his game-high 25 points. Rockford Christian defeated Galena 76-63. At Rockford Lutheran, the Crusaders hosted the Warhawks of North Chicago. Walt Hill Jr. gets to work driving and scoring for Lutheran. Blake Brogy launches and he hits the three-pointer here. And how about Lutheran's defense leading to fast points? Vontez Dent will score off the North Chicago turnover. Hill off another steal, thinks about the dunk, but he'll settle for the lay-in. And then just moments later, Hill gets another shot at it, and this time he'll dunk it through. The Crusaders led 40-7 after the first quarter. They won 92-37. Over to the girls' action, we had a Nick 10 matchup between Boylan and Auburn. Boylan dominating most of the way here. Elena Petalaber goes deep for the three, and she gets it. Titans again in transition. Petalaber goes uncontested for the quick layup. But how about Destiny Robinson? She was key for the Knights, and here she is with a deep three. But the Titans are too quick with it. Gianna Marinero hits one from downtown. Another great look here for Boylan. Quick dump to Lily Esparza, and she sinks the jumper. It's all Titans in this one. Boylan improves to 6-1 on the season with a big win. And it's a big day in college football as we finish up with conference championships. Here's a look at some of today's scores. In the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs take the title with a dominant 50-30 performance over LSU. And in the Big 12, Kansas State won big over TCU in overtime, 31-28. The Ice Hogs face the Hartford Wolfpack tonight for the first time in team history. Tonight was the first of 2 matchups between these 2 teams this season, and the Ice Hogs come out victorious 3-2.
I think winter is officially here with these colder temperatures.
Yeah, and it definitely felt like that, especially for those of us that woke up yesterday morning. It was a lot colder than where we were yesterday, or this morning. It was a lot colder than where we were yesterday. We were in the 50s just 24 hours ago. Compare that to the teens right now. Clear skies on the First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford Auto Glass and more. We have a lot more sunshine again tomorrow, and this time helps us with our temperatures up close to 40 degrees for the next couple of days. Chances for snow Monday and Tuesday, and then another system to keep an eye on toward the end of the week.
Thanks, Jordan. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.